What's going on, guys? Welcome to my channel, and today I want to review Superman number 22 that came out this week. And this is a very entertaining and beautiful book. Visually, this book is pretty stunning. It's very cinematic, and I love that about it. As far as the art is concerned, it's just outstanding. This is Dan Mora, who this guy, the artist Dan Mora, he's a very busy guy, man. He working for DC Comics. He's doing Justice League. He did the Absolute Power miniseries, and he's simultaneously also doing the Superman book with writer Joshua Williamson. And kudos and big shout out to Alejandro Sanchez. He's coloring this book, and his colors just make every panel jump out. Let me say that again. I mean, the art in this book is just gorgeous art. The way he look at this panel. Look at Superman here. He looks amazing, menacing. He looks heroic. The villains, the antagonists, they look good. This guy is expressing anger, and even through a mask, Dan Mora, is clever enough to make it look good and make it look like he is yelling. Just visually, this book is just amazing. It is called, let's go back a little bit and reset. It is called Blast from the Past, and the gist of it is that this alien race has come to planet Earth, and they're looking for Doomsday. Doomsday is currently in LexCorp, at the LexCorp headquarters, and he's in a dormant state, and he's being kept dormant and dreaming with this special plant. And this alien race, they're victims of Doomsday. Doomsday destroyed their planet, and they want him. They want Earth to turn him in, and if he doesn't, if he's not turned in by planet Earth, they're threatening to attack Earth and destroy Earth, which really doesn't make sense. I mean, they are victims of having a planet destroyed, and they're threatening to destroy another planet. It's kind of contradicting, but such is the writing of Joshua Williamson, who has several issues with his writing, his stories. He's a brilliant writer. He knows what to do. He knows, he has some very good plots and good stories and concepts, but the execution doesn't always hit a home run. Specifically here with the Superman, with what he's doing in Superman, because he's working for other companies, and he's doing a great job. I mean, G.I. Joe, and he did several miniseries. I think he did a Duke miniseries over there as well, and he's kept more in check. But here, he gets more freedom to do stuff, and he's been writing Superman for several years now. I think he's been on Superman for 2 years, something like that. And like I said, he has a lot of concepts, a lot of plots, a lot of storylines that are very exciting, very entertaining. But I believe that his stories are backed down, with the whole feminist angles, and the whole messaging, and the whole thing with women being put at the forefront of every comic book nowadays. And just they've done that over at Marvel, where superheroes just cannot shine on their own anymore. And DC is doing it as well, and he's doing it with Superman, and specifically he's doing it in this title. What I'm talking about is, as you can see, this title is called Superman, and you can see comics are very expensive nowadays. It's a $4.99 title, and if you buy this book, you want a Superman story. It's only logical to think that come to the conclusion that this, whoever buys this book is a fan of Superman. They want to see Superman in action, and there is that, but he's not fully the star. They do a bait and switch, and when you flip this book open, this book reads like a Lois Lane book, because Lois Lane, Joshua Williamson, has currently Lois Lane running around with Superman powers, and the whole thing is just frustrating to read, frustrating to see. I don't like it. I'm not sure many readers like that, because it's a bait and switch. When you this book, you want to see Superman solve problems. You want to see him take care of things, but this book doesn't read that way. This book reads like Superman cannot solve problems on his own anymore. He's not unique to the story anymore. His whole entire family, they are Superman clones, basically. All his son is a Superman clone. He's you know uh, he has other kids around him that he kind of has adopted, and they are Superman clones, and there's Supergirl, and that wasn't enough. Now he has Lois Lane running around uh, with Superman powers. Not only that, but he also has Lois Lane just outshining Superman, using her powers better. Like she's been a superhero the entire in her entire career, and that's not her gist. Lois Lane is Superman's love interest. She's his wife, and she's a very accomplished reporter. A classic, you know, female leading character in the Superman mythos. She's part of it. She's a big part of it. Don't get me wrong. I just don't see it. I don't see why it's necessary for Joshua Williamson to have Lois Lane running around, partnering with Superman in superheroics. It ruins the whole experience for me. It doesn't make sense. Character wise, why would Superman, for example, allow Lois Lane to go and fight an alien invasion with him? That's he loves her. He's putting her in danger. Even if she has Superman powers, Lois Lane is not Wonder Woman. She's not a born warrior. She wasn't raised to be a warrior. She's not a fighter per se. There's none of that. Even if she has Superman powers, even if Superman coaches her a little bit, that's the mother of your son. That's your wife. You have always protected her. You have always taken care of her. You love her. You don't want her to get in harm's way. Why would you take Lois Lane, even if she has powers, to fight an alien invasion? To fight, for example, Doomsday, who once killed me? Why would I put her? It doesn't make sense, and I just hate how Joshua Williamson glosses over all these facts, and it just doesn't make sense what's going on here. And she's overbearing. Let me give you an example. Over here, Superman goes to confront the leader of these aliens that just came, who are hovering above Metropolis, and when he goes into the ship, he has Lois Lane right there, get in front of Superman, and she starts questioning this guy, why, and then she starts. Let me give you a little bit of context here. Let's read a little bit of her dialogue. I interview royal families that date back centuries. I've interviewed hardened criminals on death row. She's marvelous. She's mighty woman, and often the piece that becomes crucial, that part I would always uncover, is what they don't tell me. And you are not telling us a lot. So she's like a combination of Batman. She's also, she's this brilliant woman. And I did not buy the book to read Lois Lane as Superman, as Superwoman. I bought the book to read about Superman. I want Superman to save the day. That's why I bought this book, not to have, the other characters wondering if they can get a picture of Superwoman, and it's a whole thing. And why doesn't DC Comics and Joshua Williamson just come up with a Superwoman series starring Lois Lane as Superwoman? You know why they don't do that? Because it won't sell. It doesn't sell. She's not a superhero. And besides that, there's already women with Superman powers. There's two of them out there. There's Supergirl, Kara Zor-El, and there's also Power Girl. Both have held their own titles in the past before, and although they have a little bit of success for a time, they don't last, these titles, because these women as leading ladies, as superheroines, as superheroes, they don't, most of the audience that buy comic books are guys, they're boys, and we want to read about Batman, we want to read about Superman, we want to read about the guys, not the girls, And I understand that DC Comics and Marvel Comics are going through this phase where they want to change that audience. It doesn't make sense to me why you want to change the audience. You want to make comic books a girl product, and women are just not into comics the way men are. It is men that keep your business, the comic book industry, afloat. They are the ones that buy. They are the ones that read. They are the ones that collect. They are the ones that have the patience and the fandom inside of them to buy books, to buy action figures, to collect statues, and follow series and mini series and watch the animated features and go to the movies. It's guys, and the people at DC Comics and the people at Marvel Comics are hell-bent on trying to change that narrative, that reality, and that reality is not going to change. So what do? They resort to these cheap tricks where they have to make Lois Lane a Superman clone. And it's an insult if your angle is a feminist, if your angle is a feminist angle saying that women should be as good as men. There's ways to do that. This is not the cloning Superman and making Lois Lane into Superman is not the way to go. It's just not the answer. And that's where I have the problem with this. The story is fine, it's entertaining. There's things that keep me glued, to the pages and stuff. But what Joshua Williamson is doing to the men. Lex Luthor is a pathetic, amnesiac. He's just a pale shadow of what he used to be. This is Superman's arch nemesis, and we got Joshua Williamson since the beginning of his run. He did a little bit with him, and then he just set him aside. And he keeps doing that with all the characters. He did it with Brainiac. He did it with Perry White, Jimmy Olsen. They are all glued to some overbearing female character, and it's stupid, And they always gotta be there. This is not super. This should be called Superman Super Family or something like that, because Superman's not alone in it. And it's just a bait and switch, is what I'm saying. That's my point. This is a Superman book. I want to read about Superman. And what happens is that Joshua Williamson misses out on other stuff. There's other stuff we miss. Like, this is a very epic story. A lot is going on in Metropolis. There's an alien horde, spaceships hovering above the city. We could be seeing the reaction of the people in Metropolis, the cops, the armies, maybe a little glimpse of other Justice Leaguers being aware of what's going on. stuff like this, right? But it's just too much. It's just too much. He wants in 22 pages, he wants all this. He's pushing this agenda with the women, that he wants the women to be prominent, to be more than Superman, you know. And then we got it is, although it looks beautiful, Dan Mora, like I mentioned, he does amazing visuals. Look at this splash page. It's just beautiful stuff, you know. And but still is look at that, Jimmy Olsen. The art is just amazing. It's just Jimmy Olsen is dating Silver Banshee. Silver Banshee used to be an awesome supervillain. Now she's been turned into this lovable, uh, um, love interest for Jimmy Olsen. It's a pairing that was never like necessary. It just doesn't make sense what these people are doing, you know. And the whole subplot of Lois Lane running around and she doesn't want people to know that she's Lois Lane as Superwoman, and Jimmy Olsen was about to take a picture and all this stuff. It's just I hate it. I just hate the fucking Lois Lane as Superwoman push that is going on here. Look at this. Next issue, Time Trapper versus Superwoman. Why? I bought a Superman book. That's what I bought, not a Superwoman book. I don't care about Lois Lane as Superwoman. It is not appealing to me. And I want to hear about other readers, other fans out there. Are you okay with this? Is that okay? Are you fond of it? Are you having? Am I wrong? Am I the only one? Am I like out of line here for thinking this way? I would love to hear some feedback from you guys. Seriously, I'm asking, what's going on? How do you like this? How do you like DC Comics doing this? You know, doing the bait and switch, where you see Superman here kicking ass, and he's the title character. You open the book, and the book is just excessively about Lois Lane as Superwoman, about Supergirl, about Mercy running Lex Corp, and about Silver Banshee telling Jimmy Olsen what to do, and all these fucking women. And it's like, that's not why I bought the book. I don't care. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? So it's just Joshua Williamson. I don't know if you're the one doing this or if you're being dictated to do this, because you're not doing that over at Image with G.I. Joe books. So I'm thinking that you're being asked for that agenda to be pushed into your stories. And your stories just, they could be amazing and epic, but they don't move forward the way they should move, because you bog the story down with these characters, trying to make these characters cool and more prominent than the main character himself. I hope I'm making myself clear, and I'm sorry I went on this little rant, but it is the frustration of comic books today. It's going on a lot, and effectively, you know, at the end of this issue here, Superman is once again put to the side, because in the next issue, you know, he wants Williamson wants to show how great Lois Lane is as a superhero. Lois Lane is not a superhero. She's a supporting character. I did not buy this book to read about Superwoman. I don't care about Lois Lane being Superwoman. It is, you know, it doesn't make sense. She doesn't have the experience. Her bad guys Superman's bad guys would dismiss her. Why would they make deals with her? Look at this. Are you Lois Lane? Can you do what is needed to save Superman's future? It's stupid. I see it. You know, I see the agenda, what's going on, and it just it ruins my enjoyment of what's going on. You know, not completely, because Dan Mora is the superstar of this book. His pencils, his visuals are beautiful, and the colorist is doing an amazing job. But plot-wise, this book is being bogged down by this feminist agenda that's going on, this thing, going on in comic books nowadays. Is That's just my 2 cents. Anyways, guys, thank you. Give me likes or dislikes if you hated my rant or whatever. But please just watch and enjoy my channel. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Peace.